Okay.
It's time to start. Yeah. Correct. So we got
Okay.
Okay, let's start.
First
Questions.
question is, like, what comes first to your mind when you hear word home?
When I hear that one, okay, there are a lot of explanation for home for me. Like I had the time to think about what is home for me. So when I start to think about home, I start to see my time period of my life. When I say home, when I was a child, there was a place I grow, and it's becoming a person, and I grow more, and it becomes something. There was always something, and I was looking, and I was thinking, okay, there was a place, there was a people, there was a person, but they make me feel something. And before I want to talk about the home, I would like to talk about what is meaning for me and what kind of life I live, because each of us has some different experience about home and everything.
But I'm using first thought that comes like home, and it comes like sometimes for me it could be like my friend's place or something. So
it's not a place anymore. I can't say that. It's not a place. It's kind of feelings for me right now. But it was home. It was a parent place. It was. But now, if I'm thinking about the first thing when you say that home, it's feeling. How am I feeling? And where am I feeling exactly? And if I really feel that moment and that time, and if I'm kind of healthy and good timing, good condition, I'm saying I'm home. Doesn't matter where am I. And it was really hard to come back here because I was living in too much country, too much cities, too much. I never had a home. But if you're looking for a home, because the home was a home, for me, the house, and it was next to parents because we all had that kind of childhood. And when we were a child, the home meaning was a house for us. Inside the parents and the family, we call it home. And I never had kind of places in my life. And because of my father's job, every 2 or 3 years we were going to different places and different country and different city, even not a different country, different city and city. More or less I traveled all over the world, all over Turkey, and all my childhood. And maximum we stayed 3 years in that city, and we changed the city. I changed my friends, I changed my home, I changed my everything, all my environment, the people and everything changed. And it was like missing something like that, and I knew that, if I go that city, this is not my home because, I'm gonna move here. So it was not really, even next to my parents, I couldn't feel the home because we have some kind of movement, we were moving all the time, the pattern we were had. Not only me, all my family had that. My roots as well, like that. My grandpa's grandpa, my grandpa's grandpa. It's coming from there. Their pattern is moving, and they were moving, and we were moving, and in this moving area, in the period, looking for home was a quite challenge. I can say that because it was, if the home is a house for you, and then there is no home for me, But I was seeking for home for a long time in my life, and then I discovered in that time, the people, and I put the role of the people. Okay, if I'm next to my parents, I feel like I not, giving that definition of home for me, because the parents are parents, they have their own life, and I grow and I got my own life. When I understand that, I say that, okay, this is not home for me as well, and my parents is not home for me as well. The city is not a home, the house is not a home. When the parents came, that was exactly the time that when I started to discover myself. So when I started to think about myself, when I started to, who am I? When I started to ask that question, and when I started to ask that question, I understand that, we're not similar. I'm not similar with my parents, and because all our childhood period, we were following their, footsteps, and we want to be them. If we even don't, if we didn't realize that, but we somehow we want to be them. So that's why, when I realized that I'm not them anymore, I'm not my parents, so I'm not following their rules, their belief, their religion, their anything. But I have my own. I have a lot of things coming from my parents, but this is all mine. And I understand that the parents are not the home. And then I started to ask why I was feeling that, that when I'm next to my parents, I was feeling home. Why I was thinking that. The answer was thinking that, and the answer is how I was feeling. So I told you that the feelings, I need to feel that. So basic mathematics, like it was like, okay, why I was feeling home? Because I was feeling secure next to my parents. I was eating healthy. My parents were taking care of me, cleaning my dishes, clothes, and I don't need to think about anything. So just when I left it, the work things, like another work things, but daily things away, and I was there for myself, so I can start to think. But when I start to move to a different country by myself, when I was 18, when I started traveling, after I finished my grade, the high school, and I separated from my parents. I was running from them. I was running away from them. I started traveling, and I traveled whole Asia by myself. I started from Singapore, Brunei, Laos, Philippines, Thailand. Too much country I traveled by myself, and I was discovering. I was going and living in those countries, understanding their culture and everything, and I was seeking for a home also. I was not feeling home there as well, so I understand that there's some feeling I have to feel first to home, and when we are talking about the home, first thing I have to think, okay, I'm already in my home, and because it was like that, I have to feel now, if you ask me, are you feeling home? Yeah, I am feeling home. But the reason is not because I'm in Trabzon. By the way, we are in Trabzon. Right now, and we are doing that interview in Trabzon. And I'm from Trabzon. And the reason is not because I'm in Trabzon right now. I'm feeling home right now, but the reason is not that I'm in Trabzon, next to my parents, I'm in the house, because I feel myself here really, really me, because the people around me know me for a long time. They know me, so they don't judge me, because they know me for 10 years, maybe 20 years, and we got that relation, so I don't need to go because everybody knows me. So that's make me feel me, and when I feel like I'm me, I feel like home because I'm in the moment. I'm here, I don't need to roll, I don't need to do anything. People already know me, and that's make me feel like I'm home. And this is not the only thing, because I'm taking care of myself here. I'm doing my meditation, yoga, and I do some exercising and stuff, eating healthy, and doing stuff like that. If I do that in these things in a different country, even different city, yeah, I feel like a home. And everything should be in my order as well. In here, everything in kind of my order. In my house, in my friend circle. It's so selfish to say in my order, but in my perspective, in my way, and that's make me feel really relaxed, and I don't need to think about it. When I'm away from my mind, chance, before you came, I talked with everyone else because I had to hear about your research and I asked you that question before the meeting. And that question, take my months. And I split everyone around me here and I asked them, what is the home for you? What are you feeling? But everyone has kind of different experience because everybody has kind of different lives. Because I have friends here, maybe he lived in Trabzon forever, he didn't go any out. So he always was here. His house here, his family here. And he feel like a home here because his culture and everything is here and he didn't see anything outside. That's why, or she didn't see anything outside. And that's why they can call it home here easily. But I got the chance to see and experience everything outside as well. And when you do that, you still, Trabzon is become a home. It can be a home. But it's not that easy to say that,
After you realize that it is kind of home place for you, how do you think you needed to spend a lot of time here? Like, you can move from here and are you missing the place like home?
I stopped missing Trabzon. I was missing
Do you need it to feel it, or it just like it is nice?
It is like hard to call. Like why am I calling Trabzon home? That Trabzon is the place that I cure myself. I have my friend circle. I do my meditations with those friend circle. I do my yoga. I do my exercising. I do everything. I eat healthy. I do good. I taking care of good myself. That's why I call it home here.
But you can do it in another place as well.
Exactly.
Would it be home?
Yeah. This is the tricky point. Yeah, that become a home for me, and I'm calling it Tbilisi home for myself. That's why Tbilisi is my home as well. When I do in that kind of good period, if I healing myself there, if I do my exercising, if I feel, really good, but it's not that good, but it's not the good is not a good to say that, but if I feel really like me by my own, and I feel home in there as well. But in that period, life is more challenging outside of this city, and easy to live in here. That's why I'm calling home Trabzon. But the reason, only reason I feel good in here, and outside also I can do that, but it is more challenging for Tbilisi. That I have more challenge in Tbilisi to make it home for myself. I need a house. I need a good friend circle. I need a lot of things to make it myself, and I can't do that all the time because sometimes I had the problems, sometimes I had the issues. That challenge make me think about it, and sometimes I had a bad time period, and in that bad time period, and I'm leaking, that feeling of home. So in that kind of times, I'm coming Trabzon because this is very much easy for me to feel like that, because I have already friend circle, I have house, I have parents. They are not the reason that I had to, they are not the reason that, to home, but they are a part of, to make me feel good, make me feel myself well. I don't know, it sounds so selfish what am I saying, but, it's make me, how am I feeling, if I feel in the moment, if I feel that, I'm living now, and I'm away from my mind, I'm saying I'm home, I'm happy for that. That feeling is, what am I saying? Always feeling is that exactly I want to explain. So what is the feeling for me? Explanation of the feeling. That feeling is, without any idea, any thoughts, without any without any disruption of my mind. There will be no. And I'm just here. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to, having my time here. I'm happy to doing some stuff in here without thinking. much thinking. Thinking is always in our life, but too much thinking without overthinking. So that's make me feel home. That feeling is that feel. That kind of mindfulness stuff make me feel home, really. And as our friends say that, I love that guy yesterday, he mentioned that I'm already in my home. So I carry my home with me all the time. So I am supporting that idea also. I'm thinking about that a lot and I'm trying to practice that a lot with the meditation, with the other stuff. And this is, home. I'm carrying around with me.
And finally, after this thinking way, during this conversation, how would you describe it, like in a short way? So what's home for you?
Where I feel me, really feel like myself, I feel like a home.
And something makes you feel it?
Yeah,
And
and
what's this thing?
living healthy, and thinking healthy, and living healthy, thinking healthy, eating healthy. I mean, maybe I'm crazy with that healthy life things, but those things are making me really. If I have a healthy psychology, healthy, and if I got the healthy psychology away and of my mind, I feel like I'm home. But the home, but it is changing. I'm afraid that I'm not afraid. Where am I right now? That's that feeling I told you, and that feeling is make me. This is linking with the healthy life, healthy living and healthy friend circle, in every part. But it was different before, and maybe it will be different later in the future. But now I can say that it is a feeling that if I feel, kind of healthy way, and in every case, that's make me feel like a home. If I can be in any other places, place is not the issue. The person is not a person. It's not the place. It's not the. It's not. It is what about my feeling, and the feeling also away from all the dirty and all that the crowded mind, and because it is taking control of everything, but it is still challenging for me to where to home, because I can't feel that everywhere. But I'm not saying that Trabzon is home. Trabzon is home for me because I'm feeling mostly in here, but I can do that in everywhere because I did that when I was in different city, when I was in different country. In that life period, I was calling that place home. And after I moved that city, I'm not calling that city anymore home. But in the future, maybe I will go different city, different country, and I will call it home. Because I will feel good there, I will somehow create a life for myself there, and I will call it home. But it will be changed, I think.
Last thing, I'm curious, how do you see your culture, like environment where you grow up, how did it reflect on your thoughts about the home? Or if it reflected, if it affected somehow, how did
My culture, I had to experience a lot of culture. Even in Turkey, there are a lot of, maybe already, there are a lot of different parts of Turkey, and they have a different culture there. So every kind of culture, my father from Adana is in the other part of Turkey, and they have a different cultures. And in Trabzon, they have a literally different culture. All of them somehow reflected, but I think I try to find my own way to live. Also I was in different countries, and I try to see and got the experience from those countries and try to put it there. And somehow I try to collect everything a bit and try to make my own, to believe way. But I think that all the cultures affected, not only my own culture, I can say, not only my families or my friends or different countries' culture, but the whole culture somehow affected me because I find in all of them something, I can say that in different. Maybe I'm not following those cultures and ideas because I'm not really that guy that's following the culture and doing the cultural things, but those are affecting because I'm carrying with them all of them, I'm carrying with me, with my ideas maybe. But I'm not really, following them, I can say that. But probably they affected as well, somehow, because it's impossible otherwise to create something by your own. You have to inspire from the other cultures or other things or other beliefs, then you can't have that by your own.
That's new. Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this, and it's came to my life earlier than you asked me that. The question asked me before, and I had to think a lot. I cried also a lot. But somehow I came up till here, like the month of thinking made me think about this. If you asked me this question 2 months ago or 1 month ago, probably I'll give you a different answer. And I had the chance to think about this, so that I find myself this, how am I? I think the feelings make me feel that I'm in home, I can say that. It's not a really correct word, but this is how I can express myself like this, I can say. Thank you.
Thank you.